does well, even in purple.
I don't know how to take that. It was a big barney guy back then.
We're kind of screening you. That's funny.
You all may have noticed there's some new construction. Well, first of all, they tilted the room because everyone just falls to the back of the room and sits back there. But before we get started, I want to welcome a special guest, McKenna, Will's daughter. Thank you for being here. That's special. And yeah, we got some new screens. We are talking about having them elevated a little bit more, maybe having this one larger. We'll see. We also have some furniture coming that's taller, so that you don't go like this for the panels. All right, good. Why are you sitting there like that? That's creepy. That's why. There's all these cool people that attack people, and that's my plan. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jason. So let's get her started. So our purpose: serve agents, impact lives. Mission: build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Hence, this has been a great month thus far. We've had the wealth panel and the community panel. Watch that back. Way to go, ladies. That was outstanding. We have our rookie panel, somewhat rookie. They're not quite rookies, but it's good. It looks good that way. And then this is the one I'm most afraid of next week. And you'll find out why probably, if you haven't already. And they are the preferred play of the week. Let's give it to them. First of all, these new screens point out my errors really well. I just noticed that. So I like that. That's going to hold my game higher. However, first of all, this is the only picture that our legal department let me show. So that says anything. We had our flight delayed, and yes. And Jason and I think that we both agree this is our favorite picture of all time. Look at Colin. Look at how happy that man is. It looks like the Winnipeg Jets just won the Super Bowl. But the reason this play of the week is just that even before it ended, agents were connecting with one another saying, hey, let's meet up on Friday. Let's go over what you learned. What are you? So it was the strategizing, the collaboration. It was pretty special. So way to go, everybody. And what did we take away from it? We took away a lot of things. CC, hello. Hi. We took away a lot of things, and some of the bigger picture things we're going to continue to talk about as a market center from there is we're going to go deeper into AI. That's
Alan Iverson.
All about AI. Talking about going deeper into your personalization with your people. And role play. So, yeah, they emphasized it quite a bit. They mentioned Phil Jones a lot. And we do have exactly what to say role play after this. So, we're going to do a lot more of the teaching to role play. There's $10,000 on average sitting there at the table between you and that client, and more so helping them. But there's $10,000 there, and I don't think we want to risk that by not being prepared. What do you think?
I think that we practiced this, and that wasn't the way you set up the role play, so I'm confused.
What role player do you think?
Exactly. When we're talking about role playing, obviously, at the end of the day, if you've been here a long time, you know your contracts. You know those things. You sit down, you say them without hesitation. But the business changes all the time. Are you prepared to handle the newest question, the newest problem, the newest challenge? I was talking to an agent earlier before the meeting started, and they said they had read where a client had literally brought in an offer what they thought was appropriate based on what ChatGPT told them. Now, my immediate reaction is, well, that's crazy. I don't know how I'm going to handle that. But at the end of the day, that's what role play is about. As you practice those things, they just come naturally. And really the answer is, hey, I'm going to feed this same question back into ChatGPT and tell my client using ChatGPT, well, that may not be the best offer for them right now because it's way under market and ChatGPT doesn't only respond based on the information that it has or is provided to it. So role playing is critical. And sometimes it's a little scary, it's unnatural, but at the end of the day, nothing could be more natural. It's what you bring to it that makes the difference. So,
well, a lot like boxers, we go to the ring, now we go to the ring.
Yeah, we do.
You guys go into the ring, you got a plan, a boxer goes in a plan, all of a sudden that boxer has a different plan that you expect him to have. Now you gotta have a counter punch ready. And that's what a lot of the role play
Wow.
does, right?
We just escalated this into a fight.
Yes. Thank you for that counter.
You're welcome.
I
We
wasn't
practiced that one.
expecting, now I need to adjust. So we just thought we'd dive in real quick to going through how Phil Jones' conversation works. How to go from no to maybe to yes. So I even brought props.
Props.
Look at this. These are
Props to
cards.
Jamie.
These are cards. So I just wanted to demonstrate, some of you have seen this when you're with Phil, but this is how this works, to go from no to maybe to yes, and you can follow the colors. See, so you can see how it goes, kind of, you have to follow the bouncing ball. And
Those were called garanimals, brother. That's how I knew what clothes to wear together. Obviously, they don't make them anymore.
You've been searching for
I
them?
had those.
That means he's been looking for them, that's kind of creepy.
Well, I need something coming on that.
Well, we'd start like, the conversation would start like this. Of course, you're gonna counter based on what they say, but I'm just gonna ad lib as to what they might say. So, I'm not sure if this is for you, but how open-minded would you be to understanding the results that we've achieved in this area? Which I hope they wanna hear from you. Who do you know who has successfully sold their home in this area in the past year? See how we've now transitioned over to here? Follow the bouncing ball. What is your experience of working with a professional in the past? What is your experience of hiring someone with little to no experience? How are you certain that you want to still sell your property for the most amount of money in the shortest period of time? When was the last time you found yourself thinking about making a move? How is it important to you that you have an experience that doesn't put too much demand on your family? Could it be possible that we will get the best results if we get multiple buyers through the property and get multiple bidders so that you're not dealing with random distractions for 12 to 15 weeks, God bless you? How would you feel if that's what we are really geared up to do at KWPR? Just imagine knowing if we could wrap this up in as little as 4 weeks. That's little as, that's a key mark right there. When would be a good time to schedule photos?
Did you just move to green?
I did, but wait, heat check. Heat check. So I jumped to green because I made an assumptive saying, hey, the photos, I'm doing a heat check. I'm checking to see if you're gonna jump in and say, oh yeah, well, let's schedule those. Because if they say, let's schedule those, I'm jumping right to purple. That's why we wore this. Right? Yeah, labeling, we go right to it.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the heat check. However, if the heat check doesn't work out, then you have 3 options. The way I see it, you have 3 options. 1, you can keep putting off the decision to go to the market and potentially miss the window of opportunity. 2, you can decide this is your forever home, it's lovely. Or 3, we can take advantage of that this is a good time for a good number of qualified buyers to make this happen. How's it going, Jason?
It's going.
All right. He's my heat check.
Ooh.
Well, I didn't miss it. I was worried the key to the answer. Well, there are 2 types of people in this world. Those who think something's a good idea and those who think something is an idea and take action. I bet you're a bit like me that when you know something is a good idea, you surround yourself with good people to make it happen. Don't worry, you're in good hands. Most people find the hardest part is just giving us the wheel and letting us take it and make it happen, and it gets a ton easier for you. The good news is we've done it 1,000 times in the past, and what happens next is sign the damn papers.
Thanks, Phil. Nice job.
All right, so I don't think it's applause worthy. However, I just wanted you to understand the flow, so that when you come to exactly what to say, or when you do the role plays with the cards, that is what we're doing. This breaks the ice, this changes their mindset, this assumes the deal, and this moves it forward. So, that's the scoop. Any questions, Jason?
I have no
Did I
question.
put you to sleep?
Yes,
Yes, I put you to sleep?
I'm super, ready to go.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Let's go with Karina.
Karina. Hey guys. How's it going? Hi. I don't want to block anybody's screens.
That's why it's called a screen. You're screening.
Yes. Always gonna do this, just make sure. So I have some numbers for y'all. I apologize that we didn't get you some numbers last month. We switched programs on how we get some of our market stats, and I'm still learning the system and trying to get see how everything flows together. So apologies on the last month's not getting you numbers, but we've got some numbers for this month here for you. So for the Market Center recap, we had 142 closed units in July, 76 listings taken, and 67 listings sold, which this year was the 4th highest in July ever.
Way to go, everybody.
Closed volume is the 3rd highest in July ever. We had 52.893 million, 28.912 in listings taken volume, and then 24.5 million in listings sold volume, which is also the 4th highest in July ever. So great numbers. Average sales price in July is $372,488, which, if I recall correctly, is like one of the highest we've had in July ever. Yes, and it's our 4th highest month this year. So you can tell that the numbers are going a little bit up and down, but it is just a little bit under what we did last month at 381. So still some great numbers. And looking forward to see what you all come up with August, because August is typically another higher month from what we're trending. So usually it's kind of a breakout month. So I'm excited to see what you all have in store for me for numbers. Can't wait to see those on Transmittal. So some key Market Center highlights in terms of our multi-year trends. As of July's Transmittal, we were at 118,356 in profit share given to agents. Woo! Which is a fantastic number. In all of 2024, we paid out 122,507.
Wow.
So we are going to surpass that. We're gonna literally blow that out of the water. So I am super excited about that. Congratulations to you guys.
Can you say this year's number? What did you say?
118.
118 so far this year.
Yeah, so.
Is it up there?
It's in the wording there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't have time to read.
Sorry, my older.
That's the-
Stacy, my problem. So yeah, we're at 118,000 right now, and last year was 122,000. So we only
Five
have
shots, $5 grand shot.
four grand.
$4 grand shot.
So I think we're gonna completely knock that out of the water. So I'm very excited. I'm hoping to see that maybe surpassed it at the end of August. So I would love to make that announcement in September's team meeting for numbers.
Yeah.
We are on pace to break the 1,500 mark in closed units. We are at 915 as of closing of July books. We average 130 closings per month this year, and if we keep at that number for the rest of the year, we will surpass the 1,500 mark. And last year we did 1,300. So that's fantastic news. So again, I challenge you guys. I'd like to see those numbers, and I get excited when I can say that we surpass numbers. It's fun. And then for our GCI, kind of in the same theme here, we are 73% of the way to our total 2024 closed GCI total. So in 2024, we did about in 2024, we did 13.18 million. Right now, we're at 9.64 million. So we only have 3.5 million to go. And our average each month, this year per month is 1.377 million. If we average that same amount or more, August through December, we will have 16.5 million in GCI, which will make it the second highest GCI earning ever for the year.
Cool.
Amazing.
So that would be huge, and we're on pace for that, and that's because of all the work that you guys are doing.
Keep it up.
So kudos to you, keep it up. If there's anything that we can help you with numbers, wanna know numbers, let me know. Happy to work some numbers for you. In terms of what we have going on in comparison to the MLS, again, please, I'm still adjusting numbers and trying to figure out our new system, but we are outpacing the market. In closed units, volume, listings taken, listings volume, year over year, we're completely knocking them out of the park. We are a little bit down in terms of listings taken and listings volume for month compared to last month, but I mean, we're still killing on the closed units.
Wow.
So I mean, all these cows, you guys are just killing it. So congratulations to you guys, keep up what you're doing, we love it.
If I'm reading that correctly, year over year, on closed volume, we're up almost 34% over last year in closed volume.
Closed volume, yep.
33.9.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Compared to the market at just under 8.
They're only 8, we're at 34, so way to go, guys. And then profit share, because we didn't do numbers last month, I combined June and July's profit share amount. So in between June and July, we gave $25,155 in profit share for the grand total so far, $118,356. So thank you so much, you guys.
House, thank you so much. Yes, culture, a championship culture, we are blessed with, and if you're not winning though, the culture suffers. You all are winning, so thank you. And speaking of winners, Melissa!
Right. Sure am. Well, if you're feeling a little fear of missing out from not being at the Mega Agent Camp just last week, have no fear. There's another option for you. It's a smaller scale, it's local, and it is the annual convention that the Minnesota Association of Realtors does. They host it all over the state, but this year it's actually going to be in Brooklyn Park, so it's really close. It's very drivable. It's being held the middle of September. It's a Thursday and a Friday, the 18th and 19th. Christy Yamaguchi is going to be a speaker, which I think is going to be really fun for all of us Minnesotans who love the ice and love skating. They call it the Next Best Minnesota Get Together, which I think is kind of charming, you know, next to the state fair. It runs from 10 in the morning until 5 in the evening on Thursday, from 9 in the morning until 3 on Friday, which if you have to be in Brooklyn Park at 9 a.m. on Friday, maybe you should just think about staying over at the convention hotel. That's $175, and to attend the convention, aside from the room, it's $350. But it does include all of your meals, it includes some happy hour. You also get 7 continuing education credits, which is great, and fantastic tools and insights and strategies to improve your business. I think it's also really important for realtor relations as you are working with fellow realtors on your transactions to have good relationships, and you can network and build those connections when you're there. And kind of for fun, I noticed on the agenda, they're offering yoga each morning and also some whirly ball after the Thursday event. So if you're looking for a way to tie your business together with your continuing education, also to spend time with those of us from here at Keller Williams Preferred Realty, I know there's several people signed up, so I hope you will consider joining me. Will be there. That's right. Does anyone have any questions about that upcoming convention?
What's the cost this year?
It is $350. I just want to close with one little detail. I'm your broker. I am detail orientated and I am firm when I need to be, but I also seem to have gained this little reputation around here for having a lot of fun, right? Does everyone agree I like to have fun? Well, let it be known, I was the only one who left mega camp the day I was supposed to leave mega camp because I was at the airport early. So there's that attention to detail. I got the last flight out. And I think even more fun was had on the day that I wasn't there. So I am super jealous, but I wanted to be known that whether I am present or not, everyone at KWPR works hard and plays hard, and we appreciate you.
I agree, but I don't really remember. For those
I
of
had
you who
nothing
know,
to
they
do
were
with that
gonna-
day.
oh,
I had
Patty's
nothing
already
to do
ready.
with that.
Patty's ready.
Here I am. I feel like I'm like,
Yeah,
this is really important.
it's different.
This was,
Okay, this is quicker.
it's the same one.
Wow, okay, this is fun. Okay, everyone, the time has come. It is time for the luau, and I'm so excited. Okay, we have 100 people coming, and can we just that's so awesome. That's so great. It truly is we want it to become a tradition like the annual award ceremony. So these awards, we do have winners, and we're really excited to give those awards away. And to celebrate with all of you. The food has been ordered, the cookies have been ordered, and tomorrow Grace and I and the rest of your leadership team will be there to make it look really pretty so that by the time you get there, it'll be all set up and ready to go. So we can't wait to see you there, 4 to 7 tomorrow. We will be sending out a text so that you have the address easily accessible on your phone. And yeah, we can't wait to see you there. Okay, this is just a quick little overview of what's going on for the rest of August. All of the things that we have going on, we've already checked off Mega Camp. We have had some awesome panels this month, and all of our regular scheduled classes. And then this is super exciting. We did this last year, but we have expanded the amount of people that we're allowing to come. So that's super awesome. The sign up goes live on Friday. There's going to be 50 seats this year. And I believe it's going to be run from 12 to 3-ish. So that will all be finalized in the email that you get this Friday with the sign up. But it's a great recruiting opportunity, and obviously you'll get to go on a luxury bus to see the parade of homes. So that's all we got for you. 50.
Early bird is 50.
Early
What
bird.
do we get? Food? Food. Do we get drinks? And the mega crew will be there.
The details. Okay, that's what we got.
I would say about the luau part, because I don't know if you all, I grew up in my dad was in a company where they had a summer event where all families got together. It's just awesome to be able to bring kids and have a good time like that. So looking forward to that. Thank you, ladies. You put a lot of hard work into it. And speaking of a hard worker. There's your dinger.
All right, so a couple weeks ago, you had a wealth building group up here, and they mentioned a loan program that I've talked about in the past, but just kind of in passing. And so I wanted to give you a little bit more in depth of the program, and it's DSCR loans, all right? And some of them were using that as a potential way to buy a property. And so I wanted to go through this with you, and it might be a little small here, but what's a DSCR loan? It's a debt service coverage ratio. Basically, it's, all right, what's the total payment divided by what's the total debt? All right, so if you're making $4,000 on a rental, and the total cost on it is $3,800, well, it's 1.2% then, is the ratio. All right, so that's what they're looking for. Not looking for total debt ratio, other programs, other income, other debts. They're just looking at, okay, what does this one property do for us? So it indicates, okay, what's their ability to repay the loan. It helps, evaluate investment property risk, and it's all about risk. So preferably 1%. So if you're making $4,000 on it and your rents are $4,000 and the total debt is $4,000, that's 1%. Or it's 100%, or it's 1.0 ratio. That is typically the baseline. I've seen 0.8 approved, but 1.2 or higher is less risky. The higher that number is, the less risk. The cheaper things are on it, the more likely it'll get approved. Less than 1% means that the income isn't even covering the payment. Okay, that's risky. Okay. So primarily investment properties, commercial real estate, again, cash flow. Self-employed investors or people with irregular income. Real estate agents, where maybe you're, especially the first couple of years, you got a lot of expense, not as much as income as you will in the future. So this can be a good program. So again, based on the property, it's a pretty streamlined underwriting process because we're not grinding through a lot of things, we're just looking at that particular property. It can go up to 3.5 million. As an example, you can see you're making 120 of rental property income and the total debt is $100,000, that's a 1.2 ratio. That looks good to an investor. So sometimes there's like a property management fee that goes into it. If you're having somebody manage it, that could be an extra expense. Depending on the program and who's doing it, there might be, hey, we have to factor in the form of vacancy because it's not always 100% rented. And credit score and down payment, of course, definitely matter.
Right.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
So let's say you've got a property you're considering, and it's gonna be your first investment property. And you are gonna have to rely on the person that's selling the property that's gonna give you,
Income, no.
Okay.
So that isn't gonna be a good question. So brand new investors, it can work for them. But basically they're using what the appraiser says on the appraisal are the average rents for that property. Right?
Oh, okay.
And they'll look in that neighborhood. So, you probably have something on the MLS that might tell you average rents. I would be going to like a Zillow check and you can find out what the average rents are. But if it says $4,000 and the appraiser ends up saying 4,200, underwriting is using the 4,200. Likewise, if the appraiser says 3,500, underwriting is using the 3,500. Right? So it is, I'm assuming, I don't know if you can get rental figures through the MLS, but I'm assuming maybe that's what appraisers use. Or otherwise they're using some form of glorified Zillow check.
Rent-to-meter, Zillow, they got one.
Yeah. Yes.
I have a couple of different questions. First off, how much more is the interest rate typically on this? And that's one question.
Yep. So in general, I would say, and I was gonna wrap it up with that, but in general, you can count on 0.75% higher, but the higher that ratio is, the less risky that loan is and the cheaper it can be.
Okay.
Higher FICO score can lead to cheaper. More down payment, less risky, can lead to cheaper. So it can be a range. But
So I have another question. If you have a rental property paid for, can you use it to refi to pull money out to buy another property?
I would say, yeah, that would be a separate transaction, and you're just getting the cash out and that payment.
I mean, you don't have to do 100% of that value of that one, so that one would have a,
Right, I mean, if you had it free and clear, you only need 50% to
Right.
get your next 20 or 30% on.
And then,
purchase.
does it work on land that's being leased out, like farmland?
I don't know 100% the answer, but I would guess no.
Okay, And then the last one I had is, would it work for condos that I can't get insurance that they allow rentals?
I would think you might still have an issue with that. They're gonna look at the insurance portion of it, piece, because you're gonna have to have a PITI payment, and you're gonna have to have the insurance on it, so I would think it's the same issues.
Okay, but it's not like a loan they're selling to the secondary market?
No.
So we might be, I'll have to talk to you about that one.
Yeah, I don't know if
Because I
that's
can-
been addressed
Because
necessarily.
I've got investors that would love it, but they're still having more difficulty finding financing too, if it's gonna be somebody who's just selling on the secondary market.
That's all I got.
Yeah, so, first I thought DSCR was debt sucks, cash rules. It's actually definitely should call it a realtor. Speaking of, only that freaking picture, and let's welcome up Jaxson,
Nope, he does not. But I will point out that Melissa and her cronies at Minnesota real estate people having their convention, they chose to have it on my birthday. So I'm certain
Yes, we'll
that they'll be selling that.
celebrate.
And to further that point, the following day is Talk Like a Pirate Day. So, you know, that all goes together. It's a huge Jaxson celebration, so I think you should go. All right, so.
Amazing,
That's why
thank you
Tanya
for
Harding's
that.
not available.
All right, so tomorrow, as you know, we were gonna have a class covering finances for real estate agents. Unfortunately, our person will not be able to hold that class, so I'll be jumping into AI. And I wanted to give you a preview slide that I'll be talking about tomorrow, but some of the myths of AI in real estate. If you've tinkered around with real estate, and just out of curiosity, how many people raise your hands if you've tried to use AI? Go ahead, I wanna see. Really? There's a person who said no.
That would be.
That's all right. But a lot of times we think it has a human-like understanding, because it seems like that to us, but in reality, they are pattern-based responses. And what that means is if you understand how it speaks, and you speak to it in a way that it speaks, you'll get different answers than if you just speak with a human-like, like you're talking to a human. It's not quite the same, but they're pretty close. I think most of us have figured out that it is not always accurate. You have a perception that it is, but it turns out sometimes it's not. There is a potential for errors. Another myth we have is you have to understand it. You have to have a pretty good tech understanding to do this. I promise you don't. It is very user-friendly if you've not used it before. There's this opportunity or a concern sometimes that the responses that come from it are robotic, but the responses it gives are based on the input you ask it. So if you ask it, going back to September 19th, to talk like a pirate, I promise you, it will. And that's pretty fun for a guy like me, but you can actually just have it say something like, I'd like it in a more conversational tone, or friendly tone, and you'll be amazed at the results from things like that. It is not just a search engine, okay? A lot of times people use it for an idea, and how can I figure that out? It does a lot more. There are many, many, many applications you can use with it. It does not replace your relationship with other people. However, if you are familiar with my personal chat GPT, it is named First Mate Chatbeard. So anytime you hear me say First Mate Chatbeard, I am talking about my chat GPT, and it responds to that, which is frightening. The last myth that people have is I've got time to figure this out. You don't. There is an urgency to getting on board the AI train. It is constantly growing. And as it grows, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the longer you wait to get involved with using AI, the more you will have to learn when you finally realize you need to be on it. So starting now is the time to get there. When's the best time to plant a tree? Yes, it is. When you haven't planted it 20 years ago,
Yeah.
the next best time is now.
Yeah.
And the next best time to get involved with AI is now. And so I'll be doing that class tomorrow and following it up with another class the following Thursday. So tomorrow we're gonna lay a lot of foundations and stuff like that, and then the following Thursday we'll go in a little bit more in depth into how do we do stuff like, how do I make a CMA with ChatGPT? And you can do that right in ChatGPT. There are fantastic tools and skills that are available for you as part of AI, and you will not be replaced by AI as a real estate agent. But there is a high possibility in the course of time that you will be replaced by an agent who uses it. So that you want to be that person. And that's what makes it so important. And learning new skills is all about what these folks are going to talk about today.
Well, and before we get there, just wanted to share.
We are there. We've arrived.
Before we get there, so as you know, there's an AI playbook in your command. You click on connect and you can find it there. And they're also going to be coming out with a lead generation version of it too. So that'll set you way ahead. So you'll be
Covering that playbook in tomorrow's class.
Yes.
Wow.
Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. Let's bring up some folks.
Bring up our rookies. Very smart. These guys are veterans in business. I'll let you get their seat first. That's what you guys had in mind, right?
Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
Totally.
You didn't even have to jet. That question. Good answer. First of all, thank you all for being here. They are not officially all what you would call a rookie necessarily. However, like I said, it sounded better than saying a mix of people who are brand new to a couple years old, or in the business, a couple years old. So let's start with you, Jaxson. Tell people about you. What's your deal?
21.
Congratulations.
I started.
I didn't know how to respond.
I started right out of school. I was working on my license when I was in high school yet, so I graduated in May or June, whatever it was, and then I got my license in October. So I'm on year number 3. I closed 3 deals my first year, 12 my second year, and goal is for 15 this year. I have my 9th pending right now, so.
Gary Keller likes to verify numbers.
He is correct.
Just making sure. Thank you.
Yeah, last year I bought my first investment property as well, so.
Very
See, when I saw my son, I said, I'm gonna name him Jaxson. That's a great name. My parents looked at me and said, Jamie. And then they looked at him and said, Vansh. Ladies and gentlemen, that's me. Vansh. Story, man.
Yep, so I'm Vansh, I'm 26 years old. I was actually in collections for 7 years. I decided
That's where I met you.
So I decided I wanted to get away from that 9 to 5 and just, wanted a financial freedom as well. So I chose to start real estate this year. Started in end of March. And I have closed 2 deals so far. Hoping to close 10 my first year. So.
5-star reviews, is that what I heard?
Yep, I have 5-star reviews, so I'm on a roll.
And you can help Jason Arvidsson with his Beanie Baby collection, maybe.
I got you. Whatever you need, I got you.
Speaking of Beanie Baby collections, Will. Will Bishop, let's hear. Tell us how this got started for you.
My name is Will. I'm 40. I drove trucks for like 16 years. Then I transferred into like the operations supervisor side. Then I wanted some freedom. Wanted to spend some more time with that little one back there. My little mini-me. Was working myself dog-ass tired, so I needed something else. And I've been wanting to do this for probably about 15 years. But to transfer over that after working a regular W-2 job can be kind of scary, because if you're the breadwinner of the family and you're taking that income, and it's a hit or miss if you're gonna make it or not. So I jumped in, cashed out a couple 401ks, and I said I'm gonna do it, and so far I'm okay. Just finished, but I think it was my 4th deal.
Yeah, I think we'll go for it then, so.
Awesome. There's no secret to success. Will is someone who shows up at everything. And that's day one. So, almost as much as this guy. Someone else who shows up at a lot of things as well. Dawn Hansen.
Hello, so I'm not gonna start with my age, but I will say I have a son who is 21, a daughter who will be 19 in 2 weeks, and then a 14-year-old daughter. Been married to my husband for 26 years, so you can do the math on all of that. I spent the last decade, a little over a decade, working for a company. It was a fair trade direct sales company working to empower women out of poverty through job creation. That was my passion and my heart for many years. Became a top leader in that company, but always in the back of my head, since we bought our first home, I thought, I think I could do what this lady's doing, and kind of like planted that seed. And I watched my good friend Sarah grow her business after she helped me launch my business back in 2013. So I watched her, I think 2015 when she became an agent, and I was like, I really had a little bit of like, I'd like to do what she's doing someday. So I watched her, and when I decided to make a change over the last year and a half, just kind of thinking about what my next steps would be as my kids got older, I was like, I think now's the time. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to do it. So I started January 6th was my first class, and yeah.
How's it gone since?
It's going great. I have 2 pending, so that will get me up to 6 transactions since I started.
And a listing by appointment tonight.
Yes.
Sarah makes it look easy, doesn't she? She does. All right, well, some of you covered a little bit, but Jaxson, what was your biggest fear? Okay, this is what I wanted. What was your biggest fear, biggest concern, hurdle that you?
I would say just failure as a whole, which sounds like a very generic term, but like when you're 18, there's probably a pretty strong push as a senior to go to college, and so I took not that path to go to school. So maybe it's just the fear of like, I chose the wrong path. I could have gone to school, I should have gone to school, but I not. So that's a pretty big one. It wasn't so much, a lot of people that are older in this career, it's a income fear. I didn't have that fear so much. I could work a side job, which I still do, and rely on my parents a little bit, which I still do. So I didn't have so much that fear, but I would say just the fear of being a young agent and maybe not going to school and kind of choosing an out of the norm career as a young person.
Thank you. How about you, Vansh?
I think similar Jaxson, I would say, and then also just rejection, having that fear of rejection. I think that was a big one for me. It's just going for those no's, just all those no's. You're going to get to that maybe, you're going to get to that yes, like we just talked about today. So just getting over that fear, definitely that was my biggest fear, was just rejection. Yeah.
And coming from collections though, I mean, wasn't that a big?
That was
Yeah, we got rejected all the time. But real estate was much different than collections. You're over the phone. Yes, I learned a lot from it, gained skills from it. Being comfortable on the phone. But just rejection was, I think, a big fear of mine getting into it. Yeah.
Thanks. Will?
Going home and looking at my family saying that I sucked and I didn't do good enough. That's probably the one that, I want to make sure that I don't have, but I don't have that, getting over that fear. Being like, damn, did I make a mistake? I left something that I had a steady income, and is this gonna provide, is this gonna give me what I want from my family? So.
It's a powerful, clear vision.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think fear for me would be just how people see me. I built a reputation, I built a business, and so that was very public facing on social media, and having people change their perception and see me now as a real estate agent. And so I guess just wanting people to know that I'm taking this seriously, you know. I've seen other people post like a random post like, hey, I became a realtor, and then crickets, and you're like, wait, are they still doing that? I don't know. So I just, you know, wanted people to know that this was something I thought about for a while, and I was taking it seriously. And I got a phone call today from a friend that I was a leader with in my previous work, and she called me for a question about real estate, and I just told her, I was like, thanks for thinking to call me with that question. So.
Just want to toss a follow-up question along that line, because as we're going through that, I want to point out two things. Well, I really appreciate yours is a very in-depth, very personal response, which is really amazing to share. And I want to point out that there's a difference between the fear of failing and the fear of failure. And the fear of failing, coming home and having to say that to my family, that can be a fuel for you. Versus the fear of failure, which is debilitating and I can't move forward. That's a different fear, and moving to fear of failing can actually really, harnessed correctly, can actually really fuel you. But I'm curious, and I'd love to hear each of your responses. We kind of talked about what you were afraid of, or what the fear was. How'd you overcome that? And that's a work in progress when I say that, because you never get over it. You always have a well, Will, you and I know, we had the conversation. But at some point, there's always that little bit of imposter. There's the first time I have to do a bigger listing, or the first time I have to do the next thing, or now this is multi-unit, or this is land. There's always gonna be something new that's I don't have experience with. So Jaxson, do you have any comments or thoughts on how you dealt with that fear?
Relying on my team heavily. I mean, I would say that's pretty big. Trisha and Mary are huge help. Cassie is huge help. Just relying on them for guidance, you know, trying to use their past experience to help you create a new experience is pretty important, I would say.
I love that. And that's why we're in this brokerage together. I mean, depending on who you are and where you're at, your team could be very different people, but that's the thing, the connection between other folks. Vansh?
I would say repetition, just doing it over and over, asking a lot of questions, especially when you're new. You know, like you said, rely on your team, just ask experienced agents. Well, even if they're not on your team, go to Jason, go to Jamie. You know, just ask those questions. That's what I would say.
Consistency,
yep, repetition.
Well,
Doing it.
White knuckles and head into the wall, right?
Well, I mean, there's plenty of people in here that I've ran up to, or not people ran up to, but just had a conversation with, even before I was on the team. Krista, I know I picked her brain. It's just not having that fear to go up to somebody and ask them a question. What's the worst they can say? No? Okay, then I'll move on to another person. How many agents do we have in here?
In here today or in 180?
In general. I mean, in the office, you have over 150 agents in here. If you don't have the answer, then I'll just ask somebody else. I have no problem with asking somebody or asking a question. If I don't know the answer, I'm not gonna BS somebody. I'm gonna try to figure it out. I'll go up to Melissa, be like, hey, can you help me out with this? Okay, no. Hey, Misha, can you help me out with this?
Right.
I mean, and then I'll probably, Jenny, I want more than one, so that way I can see which one best fits my situation. And then I plow straight through it. Just go on.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the fear of an agent telling you no or that they didn't have the answer is less than your fear of saying what you were thinking about to your family.
Absolutely.
And if you understand your why, it is so much easier to attack that fear. It is so much easier, because if you can draw those two things on line, which one do I want to deal with more? I will absolutely see 150 agents and let every one of them tell me no before I say that to my family. And I love that. I love it. Don?
You know, I've taught my kids this, and I try and teach myself this, that I'm not afraid to fail, because if you don't fail, you haven't tried anything. And that's really how I've tried to live. That's why I went into this. I was like, I thought, you know, in 10 years, I don't want to think back and wonder, could I have done that? could I have done what my friend Sarah did? I wanted to say, hey, if I fail, at least I tried, and now I can move on and I can find the next thing that I wanna do. So, I mean, you know, that's just a lesson that I keep teaching myself and reminding myself, but I hope my kids fail at a ton of things because I want them to know that they've tried a ton of things.
It's beautiful. Absolutely. I mean, that's it. That's the secret on it.
You know, it's beautiful, so I'm sorry to go back to this, because it's, when you get someone that goes so deep on something, when he first came up to me and he asked if McKenna could come, that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard. Hey, my daughter come, I'm gonna get a pen, my daughter. It's, you hear how much family means, and how blessed you guys are. So, thanks for sharing. All right, well. Is there any common myth, Jaxson, before getting into real estate that you're like, oh, that doesn't seem to be true?
Real estate agents don't do anything.
You see it's true, they just don't get it.
Yeah, definitely that one. That they make all this money and don't work. Yeah, we just open doors and don't ever answer our phone in the middle of the night to our clients.
Right.
That's the big one.
That's what I would say. We just open doors and they don't realize like all the behind the scenes stuff that we have to do, you know, communicating with the listing agent, the lender, having a good, you know, relationship with them, whether there's multiple offers like counter offers, you know, stuff like that. So all the stuff behind the scenes stuff, people don't really understand at first, especially first time home buyers. So you have to let them know all this information and guide them, you know, to the closing. So yeah.
Just because you sell a house that's over $900,000, that doesn't mean you take a check home that's over $900,000. Yeah, they're like, oh, you must be rich now. That ain't how that works.
Good answer.
Yeah, I'm always surprised how comfortable people are asking, how much did you make on that, like in the middle of the store? I'm like, well, how much did you make last year? Can you tell me that first? Yeah, I mean, that's a funny one. I think, yeah, we all drive fancy cars. You'll see my 2012 Honda Odyssey outside that I drive very proudly because it's paid off and still goes. I've been surprised, maybe it's not like a myth that other people have, I've just been surprised at how great other agents are to work with, both on the other side and how that can be just, you know, when you find a good agent on the other side, you're like, oh, this is fun that we're working together.
That's true.
And when you have one that you're like, all right, well, it's not as fun. So,
Get a little bit of both.
Should we talk to him?
No, don't call them.
Now, Jason, I'd like to see if you have any other questions, because as you get, most of you know, Jason is our PC, and he has some of the PC members here, and so there's a team. So these folks each happen to be on separate teams in the office, and then there's a PC team that Jason is working feverishly with, and it's fun watching their growth. So Jason, take it away.
I'll start out with Will, because I already kind of know some of the answers, but tell me about, you've had a number of closings. How did you get your clients? How did you get them?
Talking to everybody. I talk a lot sometimes. When I open houses, just to follow up, meeting people and T-Mobile, just talking.
Tell me about meeting people at T-Mobile. What does that mean?
So I swapped over from Verizon to T-Mobile because they were just charges were ridiculous. And I ended up chatting with the person that was helping me, got her under a contract to start looking for homes, and then I was talking with one of the veterans that is the owner of that franchise there, and he was like, I have a lot of kids, I need to get out. And I got him on a search as well, so just talking about it.
So you work at T-Mobile?
No.
So these were like people in a store
Yep, first day I met
that you talked to?
First day I met him.
Okay, all right.
Starting a conversation.
Just starting up a conversation. And
You can do that.
We're not a secret agent.
I'm gonna point out that Will has his name badge on.
That's right.
And Will, do you wear your name badge almost everywhere?
Almost everywhere.
Almost everywhere.
Almost everywhere.
You're not afraid, what's gonna happen? What are you
I
gonna tell
have
you?
no problem with bringing it up in a conversation. Yeah, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about your house. I'll talk about it till you get tired of it. Whatever.
So let me ask you this, because I don't want to shy away from everybody else, because I want to come back and find out how each of you, so I'm giving you time to think, I just knew that Will had the answer already. What happens when they say no?
Okay, well, we'll circle back around.
And I mean, because we talked earlier, one of the fears is no's, right? One of the common fears
Yes,
people have
no,
is no.
maybe. You don't wanna talk to me, that's okay, then you probably don't wanna work with me, that's all right. There is, how many people in the state of Minnesota? 6, 7 million?
Something like
I'm not gonna
that.
work with everybody, I'm not gonna be a fit for everybody, and I'm okay with that. I am definitely okay with that. I will move on and find more of my tribe.
They're not rejecting you.
Even if they
They're
are.
just not interested, no. There you go. Doesn't even matter, because you didn't know them before, huh?
I mean, even if they are rejecting me, I obviously didn't need them in my life, so I will keep it moving.
Jackson, how'd you get your first few? Tell me a little bit about that.
Social media posts, when I started introducing myself to the market, I printed flyers and put them all over St. Peter. Everywhere, anywhere I could post on a bulletin, I put them there. And then I handed out business cards like crazy. Like, somebody would be like, oh, do you have a business card? I'd hand them 10. Give these to somebody else.
That's funny.
So big into that. I had my first deal 18 days after I started as an agent.
Wow.
And I got that just as a Facebook message. Somebody messaged me and said, hey, I want to buy a commercial property, and I was in meltdown mode. Commercial? It went fine.
He's like, I got this.
Dawn, how about you?
Yeah, when my first client was somebody from my sphere, who, not like a friend, just an acquaintance that I knew, but I right away started doing open houses and posting on social media, posting in my stories, just every time I was out, and I had somebody just message me and say, hey, I was in Apple Valley at an open house, she's like, do you sell houses in Egan? I was like, yeah, actually I will sell them. I'll drive all the way to Egan for you. So it was somebody like an acquaintance that I knew from my life, and ended up it was a buy sell, so I helped them buy a house and sell. They had just had a baby. I was like, are you guys looking? They had outgrown their little tiny 2-bedroom townhouse, and so
And Vansh, bring us home. How did you get your first one?
My first one I got through Zillow. It was a Zillow lead that came in through a real-time touring, it's called, and so you just accept the showing. I went over there, met her and her mom. That condo actually, she actually really loved. We wanted to put a bid on it. Didn't end up working out, so we went to a different condo building, saw a few different other condos, and then we found the one for her, and ended up closing on that one. But yeah, that was through Zillow.
Awesome. I think you open it up to everybody if they have some questions.
I got one thing to,
Throw it out.
I got an amazing support system as well. When I come home, me and Courtney have been together for a little over 16 years. She's like mom to my. So, she's a stepmom to my daughter. She's been there since day one, but she is an amazing support partner. So when I come home, even if I'm feeling like crap, you know what, I got somebody that I can bounce ideas off of, and it helps me get through even if it is a tough time, which I haven't had one of those in a while, so. But yeah, so that is a big help in this business, at least for me.
It's important.
yeah.
Anybody got questions? Anybody?
Thoughts?
Thoughts, propositions,
How about we end it with
ideas?
this? How about we end it with this? Let's bring
I
it
still
back.
got one.
Oh.
You know, as you build your career, there are things that you could go to, and most of you are I'm hearing social media. Are there any books that you've read that you've learned something about life or business?
Phil Jones.
And if you don't,
Yeah,
that's
exactly
okay.
what to say.
Trisha's got me on books
Yeah.
lately.
I
say
do
exactly.
have a follow-up question for you guys on this, because he brought up books. If you've ever read MREA, you should, if you haven't. And if you have read it, you should read it again. But at the top of page 41, and I want you guys to bear out if what I'm about to say is valid or not. At the top of page 41 in MREA, it says, until I have enough leads to meet my income goals, there's simply no other issue. As in, if I don't have enough leads, that's what I need to be working on. And everything else is extra. Does that correspond with your experience? Or would you say, you should work, that newer agent should work on something other than that first?
Lead gen's huge. If you don't have leads, you can't close deals, so you have to do lead gen all the time.
Was any of your first deals scary?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did you know everything you needed to know before you started it?
No.
And you figured it out? Because at the end of the day, you had the lead and you had to figure it out.
Exactly.
You can prepare and prepare and prepare. But until you do the first one, it doesn't matter? Done?
I was just gonna say, yeah, obviously, like, our main job is lead generation. If you have a deal, like, I have 2 pending deals, but I already know, like, okay, well, I have a date on those. If I don't have something coming after that, then I don't have a job, so, but something that resonated with me that Jay Papazan said, I saw it on his social media posts, like, do it before you're ready and don't do it alone. And I feel like that's exactly what I've done. I mean, yeah, I had no idea my first, time I sat down with these people that knew me, and I was like, all right, I gotta pretend like I also know what I'm doing here, so let's go for it. And I mean, all along, it's only been 6 months, so I clearly, there's a lot more that I don't know than I do at this point, but yeah, you just gotta do it before you're ready, and that's how you learn.
Well, I think 20-year agents here will also tell you they run into deals where they have no idea what they're supposed to do. Is that true?
Oh, yeah.
And just for tips, moving forward, if anyone says it's just like in Sunday school, if you don't know the answer, just say Jesus. So if someone says if you had read any books, just say MRA. Maybe throw a shift in there.
Here's one thing.
One thing.
Sarah knows that that's on my, we're doing the 12-week year, it's on my, tactics for every week, but I do listen religiously to the podcast every Monday when I'm on the
You
treadmill.
should just tie them together.
Yeah.
Religiously.
There you go. Also, just tell her you only
Me and
read,
Jesus, we listen to the podcast.
just tell her you read to page 41 and had to stop, because
Yeah.
you didn't have enough leads to make your income.
All right, I'm focusing on lead gen. There are no leads in that book.
Well, we all, I think I can speak for all of us, we all encourage you, we're all excited for you, we're all behind you, as well as some of the newer agents here in the crowd too. And we love serving with you, so let's give it up.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all. Like, wait, did it just go in pretty quick?
You're good side.
Good side,
Good side.
Side with us written.
Thank you.
Got all these.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
All right, there's yummies in the other room, the cereal. And
So-
we have exactly what to roll play.
Good stuff, brother. Oh, man. Oh, man.
MCA orientation at 2.
MCA orientation at 2.
I was really nervous. Oh, no, you did cheesecake, Oreo cheesecake. Right? Did you get a chance? Talk to her. Why are you holding her hostage? Nisha! I thought you were to say no.
I tried, like, I'm like, oh my god, I'll go over there. Okay, well, what about it? I'll leave the cheesecake, but I do oh yeah, sure. Or we could do all that. I like that. And sometimes I
Usually what I do is I just like
and that's why I say I don't have to get up early. This is the plan I just started to do. Because yes, I'm like, yes, and that's why I'm like, right now, 30 minutes, 6 to 7.
James, get too far from the speaker. Every time I have this conversation. That's terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, I didn't always.
Good. Incredible stuff. I know. Yeah, I know.
Somebody else that was recommended her mother. And then Kato, so they were gonna use that guy. So then we would figure.
I understand what you're saying, but the actual application of it.
And he goes like last touches and I asked him that, and he said, so he had no train. Jonathan will let. He's pretty good. He's the one that retired or the other one?
I haven't used it in a while. Sarah's gonna be on.
Someone on our list retired, I can't remember who it was.
I like the vision. And I'm being a little,
No, I get it.
being
Of course.
absurd.
I know you are.
But also, assuming it's gonna, I mean, because somebody has to, and the implementation